So Kyler Murray just got paid the big bucks yesterday, signing a 5-year extension worth $230 million, $160 million guaranteed, and he will make $105 fully guaranteed on signing. So this deal makes him the second highest paid QB when it comes to dollars per year, only behind Aaron Rodgers. So he's ahead of Patrick Mahomes, Deshaun Watson when it comes to how much he's making per year. He didn't make quite as much guaranteed money as Deshaun Watson did, but he's still getting paid a lot. I'd say 160 guaranteed is a lot of money for Kyler Murray. So this entire offseason, there were some questions about Kyler Murray and the Cardinals. Would they give him a deal? Because he's only been playing for 3 seasons. They exercised his 5th-year option, and he could have had 2 more years on his rookie contract. But earlier this offseason, around the Super Bowl time, him and his agent seemed to have a plan to try to get him paid. He removed stuff from his Instagram account. All that kind of stuff happened. And it seemed for a while that maybe the Cardinals didn't want to pay him right away, but they wanted him for sure to stay as their QB for the long haul. And so they finally obviously came to a conclusion, or if it came to a deal, and he finally got his money. And so now I think when we look at this Cardinals team, the fact that they're paying Kyler Murray as the second highest paid quarterback in the NFL, it's a little crazy if you ask me. He's making more than Patrick Mahomes. The only thing is with these contracts, obviously, lots of times, the next QB who's in that upper echelon, like a top 10 QB, sometimes they just get paid as the next highest guy because they always just like leap over each other. And so because Kyler Murray is the newest one with the deal, he wasn't able to eclipse Aaron Rodgers because he's clearly not at Aaron Rodgers' level. But just when we see these contracts get bigger and bigger year after year, in the next couple of years, other players are going to pass him as well. So it's sort of like they leapfrog each other, and it makes sense for that reason. But at the same time, it is a lot to pay a player, a player of Kyler Murray's caliber. So we'll see if he's able to, take them farther this next season. If we do look, though, at his stats in his career here in Arizona, he has been very, very, very good. He is the only player in NFL history with 70 passing touchdowns and 20 rushing touchdowns in their first 3 years. Only one of all time. Also, he has 13,266 passing plus rushing yards, which is 3rd most in NFL history in his first 3 years. So there's no doubt that Kyler Murray has been a very, very good quarterback. The only thing with Kyler Murray and the Cardinals overall is they have struggled when it comes to later in the season. If we look here at this tweet from Benjamin Solak, it shows here weeks 8 through 18, and on the right side you can see adjusted EPA per play, which is basically the efficiency per play for the quarterback. And you can see Kyler Murray ranked 30th, next to players like Jared Goff, Roethlisberger, Carson Wentz, Mitch Trubisky, Taylor Heineke. So not very good when it comes to the final games of the season. We've seen the past few seasons the Cardinals were playing. They started off insanely out of the gate, starting 7-0 last year. And then they sort of slowly declined as the season went on. So we'll see if they can finally get over that hump and stop struggling later in the season. They finished 2020 losing 5 of their final 7 games, in 2021 losing 4 of its final 5 games. And here is an interesting excerpt from an article written by Benjamin Solak at TheRinger.com. He says this: Murray carries some blame for this decline, but the greater share belongs to his head coach, Cliff Kingsbury, who has been enduring late season slides for far longer than Murray has. Going back to his time at Texas Tech, Kingsbury fights a yearly battle to find the necessary buttons to push, both schematic and motivational, to stay ahead of the adjusting opponents his teams are facing. He always loses. In his past 9 seasons as a football coach, 6 at Texas Tech and 3 in Arizona, Kingsbury has gone 42-20-1 in his team's first 7 games of the season. In the remaining games after those strong starts, he's 17-44. So Cliff Kingsbury in his career has not been good when it comes to final parts of the season, and I think that probably him and Kyler Murray both shoulder some blame for that. Maybe part of it has to do with the fact that Kyler Murray last season, in the end of the year, was dealing with some different kinds of injuries. But now coming into 2022 in this season, there are a few differences here in Arizona. The fact that Christian Kirk signed with the Jacksonville Jaguars. We have Chase Edmonds leaving this backfield here, going to the Miami Dolphins. DeAndre Hopkins is going to miss the first 6 games of the season, being suspended. And I do think when you look at stats when it comes to Kyler Murray, he is obviously much better when DeAndre Hopkins is there. So that's going to be a hurdle to overcome in the early parts of the season. They did bring in Marquise Brown from the Baltimore Ravens, so maybe that'll make up for DeAndre Hopkins being gone. And then when Hopkins does come back, I think this offense will be that much better, with Hopkins still being, I think, one of the better wide receivers in the NFL. So we'll see if Kyler Murray can live up to this contract. He is going to be making a lot of money over the next 5 years, and I think for it to be worthwhile for the Cardinals, he's going to have to eventually take them deep in the playoffs because if that doesn't happen, then I think clearly he has been overpaid. But he's a very talented young player, and I think he has a very, very bright future ahead of him. So congrats to Kyler for getting that money, and we'll see what he can do this season. But if you guys do enjoy NFL content like this, feel free to drop a like on the video and comment any other NFL topics you want me to discuss on this channel, and I'll take a look. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.